On 92.3 FM.
Yeah, I've been here 18 years. I don't remember the last time I heard that the transit was moving slower than the traffic. Oh, boy. Thank you, Chief. Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Meteorologist Brian Thompson here with this live report.
You know, it's been a hot afternoon. Our temperatures have been up into the mid to upper 90s, even up to 100 in some areas. It is going to be a very warm night ahead. We'll have a clear to partly cloudy sky, low only around 80 degrees tonight. So pretty steamy as we head into the early part of tomorrow. It's going to be another hot and humid day tomorrow with sunshine and some clouds, high 96. AccuWeather real field temperatures topping 100 in the afternoon. But we will have to watch for a thunderstorm or two later tomorrow into tomorrow night. That could produce flooding, downpours, even some damaging wind gusts. We'll have a low tomorrow night around 76. Mostly cloudy, not as hot into Thursday. It will stay humid with a few showers and a heavier thunderstorm, a high of 84. We could see some steadier, heavier rain at times Thursday night into Friday morning and lingering clouds throughout Friday. It's going to be breezy and cooler with a high of 74. Right now, 94 degrees. It's mostly sunny in Midtown. Real feel is near 100. We're heading down to a low of 80 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
3 men convicted today in Germany for their roles in a museum heist back in 2022 in which the crew stole hundreds of ancient gold coins. The group was on trial for the break-in at the Celtic and Roman Museum, among a number of other heists. The coins in question dated to around 100 BC. Authorities have said the artifacts were considered the biggest trove of Celtic gold found in the 20th century. Get this, the heist apparently took place in under 10 minutes and no alarms went off. These brothers knew what they were doing. In all, the crew was accused of 20 break-ins or attempted robberies across Germany and Austria going back a decade. Each of them sentenced to prison terms ranging from 4 years and 9 months to 11 years. A Long Island man facing charges tonight for allegedly trying to hire a hitman to kill his former business associate. Prosecutors say Navdeep Singh from Dix Hills was in a years-long conflict with an ex-business partner through his construction company. This is back in May. Singh allegedly turned to the would-be hitman and started hatching his plan. He allegedly offered the hitman $100,000 plus 10 acres of land in India, and then provided him with information and photos of the target. And then last month, shortly, he gave the guy a cash deposit. Singh was arrested then. The charges include multiple counts of conspiracy and criminal solicitation, which carry a maximum of about 25 years on the yard. Singh pleaded not guilty. He's due back in court in September. Dozens of legal pot shops across the city might have to move or close up altogether because state regulators found they're too close to schools.
The pot shops are supposed to be 500 feet from any school, but now the state admits some were measured wrong. And unless a new law is passed, they will have to close or relocate. Town of North Hempstead Supervisor Jennifer DeSena says we have to think about the children.
Who is looking out for our children? The point of the law was to keep these businesses farther away from schools. And they didn't take that seriously.
The state did not respond to my request for a comment. DeSena says there are no pot shops allowed in Nassau County.
That a marijuana store must be 500 feet away from the school. And now it's not.
Sophia Hall, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
And from baseball, longtime Chicago Cubs second baseman and Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg being remembered today, the day after he died from prostate cancer.
With 10 consecutive All-Star selections, 9 straight Golden Gloves, 7 Silver Sluggers, and the 1984 National League MVP, Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred described Ryne Sandberg as a beloved figure throughout Major League Baseball. As for Sandberg, when he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame 10 years ago, he said the team, in his case, the Chicago Cubs, should mean a lot more than any one player.
Because the name on the front is a lot more important than the name on the back.
Sandberg had been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer a year and a half ago. He was 65. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
And we'll be right back. The station you know, the people you trust.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
94 degrees with a real feel of 99 at 520. I'm Larry Mullins, and here's what's happening. More on the weather tonight. AccuWeather says this is the hottest day, and once we get through tomorrow, we should be in pretty good shape, at least for the rest of the week, till the next wave comes through. Hang on a second. Got some new developments in the case of the guy who killed those poor people at the building on Park yesterday before shooting himself. Learning now, New York police headed to Vegas to serve a search warrant on his home while police question the person who they believe assisted him in building the gun he used in the attack. Meantime, they're mourning the loss of the young officer who died while trying to protect the building yesterday. A vigil tonight in Bryant Park honoring the fallen officer. Plus, an update on the subway system. Been quite the day. Delays, cancellations, you name it, in the wake of a power outage up at West 4th. And on a much lighter note, stay tuned for 1010 Wins Entertainment. We got Busta set to be enshrined on the Hollywood Walk of Fame with his own star. Everything is divine for Mr. Rhymes. 1010 Winds AccuWeather, warm and steamy tonight, dropping down to a low of 80 degrees. Winds News Time 521. And from the Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com Traffic Center now, Greg Rice.
Getting a little worse on the inbound upper level of the George Washington Bridge. We are dealing right now with what looks to be about a 15 to 20 minute delay. The eastbound side of the Cross Bronx, once you get there, everything's very jammed up getting out towards Webster Avenue, and we are looking into why. Southbound Deegan, northbound West Side, best of it right now, getting you out of town over at the George. Lincoln's about 15 minutes in. Outbound Lincoln, no more than 10. The outbound Holland, it's about a 15 to 20 minute Jersey-bound ride, and then run to the Newark Bay because the outbound covered roadway and skyway slammed all the way down past the turnpike because of a crash. Brooklyn Bridge is bad either way. Go to the Manhattan Bridge instead. City-bound Midtown Tunnel, Queens-bound RFK, and the Bronx-bound Whitestone Bridge all jammed up at this hour. The subways, yeah, that's been a problem today. BDF&M trains, very slow service system-wide because of the loss of power to the signaling system this morning over at West 4th Washington Square. They're still sorting that out. They got the AC and E trains back on or close, but the BDF&M train still an absolute mess because of the signal issues over at West 4th Washington Square. That has been the story all day long. In the Bronx, hunch off a line their way towards the Drawbridge because of a southbound crash. 95, deal with that instead. And on the Cross Westchester Expressway eastbound, getting out towards exit 7, you got that car fire knocking out 2 right lanes and backing you up to the Mario Cuomo Bridge. Traffic is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
AccuWeather says this might be it for the week as far as really high temperatures go. Maybe. Cross your fingers. Anyway, things are supposed to cool off later this week. Meteorologist Brian Thompson in the Weather Center now to give us more. Brian?
Yeah, Larry, things will improve as we get into the end of the week. We'll see the rain chances go up, but the temperatures will be going down, and we should see some very nice weather by the weekend. But it's been a hot afternoon. Temperatures in most locations have topped out between 95 and 100 degrees. AccuWeather real field temperatures in most places have been in the triple digits this afternoon. But the heat advisory continues through 8 p.m. tomorrow. Extreme heat warning remains in effect across northeastern New Jersey. As highs tomorrow will pretty much be in the mid to upper 90s again. And AccuWeather real field temperatures topping 100 degrees again tomorrow afternoon. But like I said, by Thursday, temperatures will be back down into the 80s. We'll be in the 70s by Friday, and eventually the humidity will drop as we head toward the weekend. Larry?
Sounds good. Thank you, Brian. Meantime, a follow-up as you head home to that shooting in Midtown yesterday. A contingent of NYPD investigators headed west now to see what else they can find out at of the shooter who killed 4 people here and then himself.
Mayor Adams says investigators are headed to the source where Shane Tamura lived and worked.
A team is going to conduct a search warrant of his premises.
And while in Las Vegas, they'll check on the shooter's lifestyle and how he armed himself with deadly weapons. Here in New York, an elevated uniformed presence at highly trafficked and sensitive areas and office buildings.
And we're going to continue to evaluate with our corporate partners as a learning experience on what else we can do to ensure our buildings are safe.
The mayor says there will be reviews and recommendations in light of this fatal attack. Juliet Papa, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Meantime, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch says work continues here, including a check of the shooter's vehicle and 2 phones he left behind. One report says they found a revolver and a lot of ammo in his car. They're also talking with a person who allegedly helped him build his gun.
We have located that associate and others, and will be questioning him about that purchase. This is part of a larger effort to trace Mr. Tamura's steps from Las Vegas to New York City.
Yeah, they say Tamura, the gunman, didn't show up for a security job at a spot in Las Vegas on Sunday. He was apparently headed there. And there, meantime, a fund has been set up to help the family of the young officer who died. This is Lauren Profeta, the executive director of Answer the Call.
In addition to the immediate financial support, we will be providing an annual stipend to his widow with the intention of providing that stipend for the rest of her life. Currently, that stipend is $11,000. The more money we raise, the more we're able to increase that stipend.
Due to rule, Islam had 2 children and a third on the way before his life was cut short yesterday. We will have more later. Also tonight, still monitoring subway traffic around here, particularly alphabet lines. Went out about 8:30 this morning. Tonight, the MTA says several of the lines are back up and running, though there's still a big lag as a result of the delays and cancellations today. You want to keep it locked to traffic and transit reports from 1010 Wins on the ones because things are changing rapidly, everybody. And now Bloomberg Money Watch. Here is Erica Hershkowitz.
The American consumer does not seem as worried about the economic outlook for the country. The Conference Board's gauge of consumer confidence rose 2 points in early July, with expectations for the next 6 months up to the highest level since February. The board says consumers appear to be more upbeat due to the passage of the big budget bill that made 2017 tax cuts permanent and incentivized business investment. But the gauge is still below pre-pandemic levels, with inflation still on consumers' minds. Meanwhile, the number of job openings slipped in June to the lowest levels since March. The Labor Department says 7.4 million jobs were available last month, which is slightly fewer than economists expected. According to the JOLTS report, the number of hires also fell to 5.2 million, while the number of layoffs held steady for the month. Down arrows for all 3 major averages on Wall Street today. The Dow lost 205 points, the Nasdaq down 80, the S&P fell 19. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Erica Herskowitz for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
So we got an air quality alert in effect for ground level ozone through tonight. Otherwise, clear to partly cloudy this evening, warm and stuffy with a low of 80 degrees. Tomorrow, hot and humid with sunshine and some clouds. A thunderstorm around late in the afternoon. Any of that can produce downpours and locally damaging wind gusts, especially north and west of here. We'll get to a high of 96. Real feels, though, topping at 100 once again. And then tomorrow night, partly to mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm on the way to a low of 76. Hanging on to 94 degrees right now, though, in Central Park. Good afternoon. I'm Larry Mullins. Wins News Time at the Tone, 5:30.
Good afternoon. I'm Lori Madden. A Suffolk County school district is facing questions about the handling of some literary classics.
The NYCLU is accusing the Eastport South Manor School District of throwing away hundreds of books that have been part of recent bans across the country. Attorney Emma Hall says there are 14 books in total.
It includes The Bluest Eye, it includes Song of Solomon, Don't Ask Alice, which is a classic book about teen mental health.
She says the district claims the books were damaged and that's why they were tossed, and some of the titles were replaced.
These books are really essential for young people to be exposed to a rich array of ideas in the classroom.
A school district spokesperson says she wasn't able to reach the district for comment. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
Wins News Time 5:31. Time now for expanded traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Oh, the eastbound side of the Cross Westchester has been awful. This car fire that was tough to get under control still has a couple of right lanes out. That's why right off of the Westchester-bound Mario Cuomo Bridge, the eastbound Cross Westchester is at a standstill over to exit 7 for Central Westchester Parkway. In the Bronx and Westchester, the Hutch jammed either way to the drawbridge with a southbound crash. 95 is not perfect or even good, but it's better either way, and you'll take better. Subways, that's been an issue since this morning, and why would that change? The B trains have been suspended again. We told you this might happen. They've got the B trains completely suspended and severe delays on the D, F, and M trains, and now Uptown and Q and R trains have other delays. So again, the B trains completely suspended again, and severe delays on the D, F, and M trains. If you're going to the Yankees game, take the 4 train. Here is what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Because of a crash on the Cross Bronx eastbound after Jerome Avenue, the citybound George about 25 on the upper, 15 to 20 on the inbound lower. And again, you're going to add Yankees traffic into that. Southbound Deegan, northbound West Side, the better options out. Lincoln, 15 to 20 in, few minutes out. Outbound Holland, no more than 15, but the outbound covered roadway and Skyway slammed all the way back to the Turnpike. Newark Bay Extension, that treats you better.
In the wake of the deadly mid-air collision over the Potomac River earlier this year, the Senate is considering a bill aimed at preventing future crashes.
The Rotor Act would require all planes and helicopters to use the ADS-B signaling system to not just send, but also receive data on the position of other aircraft. The NTSB recommended it 2 decades ago. Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy.
This legislation will save lives.
Lead author, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, says he often reflects on the need for the change as he flies into Reagan National Airport.
I suspect I'm not the only one who looks out the window and thinks about
what could happen. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Southwest Airlines is trying to make its skies a little friendlier. You can now book assigned seats for flights starting in January. That's a first for the airline in 53 years. You can choose from fare bundles as well. The sky's not so friendly for employees at Spirit Airlines.
Spirit will furlough 270 pilots and demote others as the airline prepares to cut flights and schedules. The airline says it plans to downgrade 140 pilots from captain to first officer. Spirit emerged from Chapter 11 bankruptcy in March, but it seems travelers have been more into non-budget airlines as opposed to cheaper fares, with the option to add on things for cash like bags or seat assignments. The airline furloughed hundreds of pilots just last year.
Correspondent Matt Piper. A trip to a national park turned into a trip to the hospital for a 17-year-old.
Yellowstone National Park rangers say the teenager was on a hike in the thermal area when his foot broke through the thin crust and he suffered burns to a lower extremity. He has significant thermal burns to his foot and ankle area. Emergency medical staff got him to a hospital. Yellowstone staff is saying it's a reminder for park visitors to only walk on boardwalks and on